as you age past 50, your body is not the same as it was in your 20s or 30s. This is especially true when it comes to sexual health and the way you handle self-pleasure. What many men don't realize is that ignoring certain changes in your body can quietly bring problems that build up over time. And that's where mistake number one comes in. Thinking that your body can be treated exactly the same way it was decades ago. One of the biggest shifts after 50 is in blood circulation. Your blood vessels become stiffer, and your heart works a little harder to pump blood around the body. For something as sensitive as your private area, good circulation is key. When you put too much strain on it by using too much pressure, going too fast, or repeating too often without rest, you can reduce blood flow and even cause micro-injuries. These might not show up right away, but they can lead to numbness, soreness, or weaker responses over time. That's a hidden risk many men never think about. Another important factor is your skin. As testosterone slowly declines after 50, your skin loses some elasticity and heals slower. This means what felt harmless in younger years can now lead to irritation or even small tears that take longer to recover. Over time, these little mistakes can affect sensitivity and overall comfort. It's like ignoring tiny scratches on a car's paint. One by itself doesn't look like much, but if you keep adding more and more, you'll notice the damage. And then there's the prostate. This gland naturally grows larger with age for many men, and it plays a role in both urinary function and sexual health. Ignoring how your habits might affect your prostate is another hidden danger. Too much pressure on the pelvic floor or prolonged tension can irritate the gland, leading to discomfort or changes in how you urinate. Many men don't connect the dots between their personal habits and prostate health, but they are linked more than you may realize. Also, let's not forget hormones. Testosterone is often called the male hormone, but after 50, levels gradually dip each year. Lower testosterone doesn't only change energy and mood, it also affects recovery time and how your body responds to arousal. When you ignore this shift and push yourself the way you did at 30, you might find yourself feeling more tired, less satisfied, or even stressed afterward. That's your body trying to tell you that your old routine doesn't fit anymore. So, mistake number one is really about awareness. If you don't pay attention to these body changes, circulation, skin, prostate, and hormones, you end up practicing habits that silently harm you. The good news? By simply adjusting your approach, slowing down, and respecting what your body is telling you, you can avoid a lot of trouble and actually enjoy a healthier, more comfortable experience even as you grow older. Stay tuned, because mistake number two goes even deeper into how your hormones and daily habits work against you without you even noticing. Now that you understand how ignoring body changes can cause harm, mistake number two comes into focus. Overlooking the powerful role of your hormones, circulation, and daily habits. These are the silent drivers of your overall sexual health after 50, and if you don't respect them, they'll quietly work against you in ways you may not expect. Let's begin with hormones. Testosterone is central to male health. After 50, testosterone levels naturally drop each year, and this affects not just desire, but also energy, muscle tone, and even mood. If you push yourself into old routines without adjusting, you risk leaving yourself drained, irritable, or unsatisfied. Cortisol, the stress hormone, also tends to rise more easily in older men. If your body links self-pleasure to stress relief, but you overdo it, cortisol spikes can actually worsen fatigue, raise blood pressure, and reduce sleep quality. So what feels like just a habit may, if done too often, be interfering with your rest, your energy, and even your memory. Then there is circulation. Good blood flow is what allows the male body to respond well. But as arteries stiffen and the risk of conditions like hypertension or diabetes increase with age, your circulation is no longer something you can take for granted. If you are too rough or spend long periods in uncomfortable positions, you may cut off circulation temporarily. That can reduce sensitivity and, over time, affect how well you respond at all. Think of it as watering a garden hose. If you keep stepping on it, the water pressure weakens. Your body works in a similar way. Habits are another hidden trap. Many older men use self-pleasure as a quick stress relief or a way to fall asleep. The mistake comes when it becomes too frequent or mechanical. When you rush, rely heavily on digital content, or use too much force, your body gets trained to respond only to that very specific stimulation. Over months or years, this can make it harder to respond naturally with a partner or even without that exact routine. This is what doctors sometimes call conditioning. It's not a disease, but it can rob you of satisfaction. There's also the matter of recovery time. At 25, you might have bounced back in minutes. At 55 or 65, your nervous system and hormones need more time to reset. If you don't give yourself space between sessions, you risk fatigue, soreness, or reduced sensitivity. Over the long run, ignoring recovery is like running your car engine at full speed without letting it cool down. You shorten its lifespan. Mistake number 2, then, is all about underestimating the combined power of hormones, circulation, and habits. Each on its own can create small issues, but when they overlap, the effect multiplies. That's why some men after 50 suddenly notice a sharp decline in satisfaction or performance. They don't see how their everyday choices are stacking up silently against them. But the encouraging part is this. Once you adjust your habits, respect your body's slower rhythm, and care for your hormone and circulation health through exercise, sleep, and proper diet, you can reverse many of these setbacks. You can feel stronger, more balanced, and more in control. And in the final part, I will share how to build safer routines and better practices that protect your dignity and keep your health intact for years to come. So now that you understand the body changes after 50 and how hormones, circulation, and habits can quietly work against you, it's time to focus on what you can do about it. This is where mistake number 3, 4, and 5 often show up. Continuing old routines without adjustments, neglecting overall health, and ignoring dignity and balance. Let's talk about how to avoid them and what safer, healthier choices really look like. First, mistake number 3, carrying old routines into older age without change. What worked for you at 30 might not serve you at 60. Your body now needs more gentleness, more patience, and more awareness. If you go too rough or too often, you risk soreness, reduced sensitivity, or even minor injury that takes longer to heal. The fix? Slow down. Give your body rest between sessions. Pay attention to circulation. Shift positions if something feels numb. A slower, mindful approach not only protects you, but often feels more satisfying. Mistake number 4, neglecting overall health. Self-pleasure doesn't exist in a bubble. It's tied to your heart, your blood vessels, your hormones, and your mental well-being. If you eat poorly, skip exercise, or sleep too little, your body will show it here too. Men with high blood pressure, diabetes, or obesity often notice changes in their response long before other symptoms appear. That's your body giving you a warning sign. Walking daily, keeping a balanced diet, and checking your blood sugar or pressure regularly aren't just good for your heart, they also protect your sexual health. Remember, your private health is a mirror of your total health. Mistake number 5, ignoring dignity and balance. Many older men use self-pleasure as a comfort, but if it becomes too mechanical or too frequent, it can slip into a habit that leaves you tired, distracted, or even guilty. This isn't about shame. It's about balance. When you treat your body kindly, give yourself time to recover, and don't let the habit replace exercise, social life, or healthy sleep, you protect your dignity. You show yourself that this part of your life is still a gift, not a problem. So, what are the safer routines? Keep sessions spaced out, not rushed. Use gentler pressure and avoid prolonged positions that cut off blood flow. Make hydration, nutrition, and sleep part of your routine. And don't be afraid to talk to your doctor, especially a urologist, if you notice persistent soreness, changes in sensation, or problems with urination. Many men wait too long out of embarrassment, when in fact simple checkups can protect you from bigger issues later. The truth is, self-pleasure after 50 doesn't have to be harmful. In fact, with balance and care, it can still be a healthy part of life. But you must respect your body's changes. When you avoid these 5 mistakes, ignoring changes, underestimating hormones, carrying old habits, neglecting health, and losing balance, you keep your dignity, your confidence, and your well-being. So as a reminder, slow down, stay mindful, and take care of your whole health. That's how you protect yourself and continue to feel good as the years go by. If this video has helped you, let me know in the comments which of these points stood out the most. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who may need it. It might just be the reminder they've been waiting for.